Russia's Medvedev says British training troops in Ukraine could be legitimate targets.
This post received a score of 2,800, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Yeah, we know. This is why risk analysis is done.
Medvedev is a legitimate target too. It would be a waste of good banana peel. Or a window.
You can use windows multiple times.
Ultimate green assassination method. If you can't reduce or recycle, at least reuse.
Considering Russians have bombed hospitals and schools, threatened to sink grain ships, targeted civilians, shot at medics while breaking a ceasefire, and have fired artillery at a goddamn nuclear power station, it's fair to say those fuckers see everything in Ukraine as a legitimate target. Ain't really telling the world anything they don't know.
Right, it'll be different for them to start targeting troops.
It's harder when they can shoot back.
They won't be allowed to.
Why wouldn't they be? Of course they will.
The British want a scenario where Russia fails, without having to resort to Russian and NATO troops shooting at each other, because that's an almost guaranteed path to a nuclear exchange. Apples to crabapples, but in the Rwandan genocide, the UN troops were ordered not to interfere with Interahamwe. They weren't allowed to shoot back, so they had to surrender, and Interahamwe ended up murdering a bunch of Belgian troops they had taken prisoner. There is absolutely a precedent for Western troops being in foreign countries, and not being allowed to fire back if attacked. The Russians refuse to back off, and there is a bloc of hawkish NATO countries who is absolutely prepared to go to war with Russia if they have to. This isn't just some random grouping either. Each one of those countries was invaded and had its sovereignty taken away or attempted to them during Soviet times, and some have had acts of war committed against them since Putin's tenure, so these countries are borderline hostile to Russia. This isn't even talking about the rest of NATO.
Both sides having nukes means that both sides have to think about their actions and repercussions that result. Russia is not going to use nukes in Ukraine and risk the entire world past at them and lining up for their pound of Russia. If Russia used a nuke, then it loses that leverage against any other country. After all, if Russia nuked Ukraine, what's to stop them from nuking someone else, so they won't be deterred from their actions. Plus at this point, all Russia's nuclear threats have lost their impact.
The British announcement about sending troops to Ukraine for training has already been walked back.
Well, that's a shame. Really hope we do something just to solidify our support.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.